Bonjour, hello, welcome to Max Mountain World. I've got a little bit of a problem, hopefully a little bit, not a big bit of a problem with the Jag. I think it's got COVID. I'll explain. As ever with little trips down to the main station, it's just a couple of kilometres away, choice between take the Saxo or the Jag. And usually I do it turnabout. It just keeps the two of them running. So yesterday, it was the turn of the Jag, and I took the Jag down, and well, I was going to. I left the garage. I didn't actually give it its usual warm-up. That's going to look. I just kind of let it tick over because it's downhill. Oh, rats! Right, that's the lighting sorted out, and yeah, I got a couple of 100 metres down the road. And the LCD display there put up engine overheat. Now, how can it overheat after literally 2 minutes? So, well, whatever it was, it looked important, so I stopped very, very quickly at the side of the road and gave the engine, stopped the whole thing, and took the key out, shut the doors, locked it, unlocked it, got back in, fired it up again. And that warning was away, but the check engine light was on. So went to investigate, and I'll show you what I found. Now this is worse than I thought. I checked that was cold, that's the coolant. Something has been visiting under the bonnet. I've just come to this. Wow. What the actual is going on with that? Now yesterday, when I opened the bonnet, I found, gee whiz, I found a COVID mask over here, and these wires to this sensor were, something's chewed through them or burnt through them or something. This is worrying. I've had a good look around the Saxo. Nothing amiss there as far as I can see. I've looked around in here as well, just looking around the plenum chamber, all the wires, pipes and everything like that. I've looked underneath the car, so there's no liquid escaped or anything, and the wiring seems to be all okay, except for that one wire, which, let's get up close. Where is it, that one? And it's been chewed back about 5-6 inches or so, and there's bits of wire been lying around as well. So I think I can fix this. I think I can maybe resolder connections back on there, seal it up with a blob of silicone to stop it getting got at again. And if all else fails, the Jag is actually booked in a couple of weeks' time to the garage to get a full service, so whatever it is can be sorted out then. But yeah, there's everything else. It just, I don't know, is it a rat or something? Who knows? And who knows how I can prevent this? Spray it with something, I suppose. So I've got this set up for repairing. When that happened, at first I thought that this wire was melted. I thought, how can that be? Just with I thought it had maybe sucked up a mask or couple other things that were there, maybe it sucked it up through the fan or something. And it's only when I've come to it just now, that was a surprise, and that was live. There's only 2 wires. I can solder tape and solder and silicone. Clear silicone can stand very high temperatures, so that'll protect. It's going to be a bit of a finicky job doing that, but yeah, I can do it. And then I can set it all up, and I'll need to put something there to prevent it. Spray something on, I don't know. Make comments if you have any suggestions. Who knows? But yeah, I've got some light to work with. I've set up some power, so get all the soldering gear down, a few tools and stuff. There's nothing underneath, but as I say, I've set up a little surprise under there for whoever, whatever it is, to come back to and get a sore face. Now I'm well aware that when the cold weather comes in, mice, rats, rodents, whatever, come in to get away from the cold and stuff and seeking warm places. And maybe that's one of the warmest places after the car's taken a bit of time to cool. It's the highest part of that cooling system. And that's probably why it's had a little munch on these wires just to feed itself or whatever. Little mouse trap underneath with something for it. And I'm going to have to put something on it. So it's only a sensor wire, so doing this kind of repair cannot damage anything, but it does affect the ECU, the engine. When I drove back up, oh, the car was running like a dog. So there we go. On the lead out, we'll see what happens. Oh, aye. Just to say as well, yeah, I'm not being too flippant about this. As I say, eventually what I'll do is I'll get the opinion of the garage and what I've done there as well, and hopefully this little bugger won't be coming back. Anyway, yeah, onward and get the repair down. It's going to be finicky, but I've got plenty of light, I've got plenty of experience. We'll see how it goes. So, until the result, thanks for watching. So a little addendum on this, and yeah, back down to the garage this evening. Just cars are away. They're not here, they're gone. And yeah, the news isn't good. So I've come down just to check out a couple of things. So I'll put this in the tail end. Any of you got any ideas on how I can approach this? It is going to the garage, it is going to get sorted by them, hopefully. Okay, thanks again for watching. Part of the fire safety system here, we have the fire extinguishers throughout, sand bucket and sand box. And I've put a little rubbish box next to it normally, just because people throw stuff in there. I prefer they throw it in there. And in between them, out of harm's way, or out of human harm's way, I've got a little trap that I set now and again, and I've never caught anything. Never at all. But where this happened is over here. A bit of tricky camera work coming on here. Because one thing I've noticed, the lights. Jeez, that happens so often. I've just come down here for more than a minute or two and I forget the time of the lights. That problem is sorted. Anyway, as I was saying, we have a couple of what in Scotland we call wee tollys. Now, they're not rat-sized tollys. That's right under where they've been in the car. So, it's mice, it's not rats. I suppose that's a plus point. But why all of a sudden? I mentioned the cold weather's come in, but I've been here 8 years and this has never happened before. But there is one other aspect. What changed? In a building this size, mice can travel all sorts of places, you know, there's ways through. And it doesn't just apply to the obvious here. They find places that we would never know even exist. But how do they get in? And like the pedestrian door, there's not enough room there. But recently, this garage door, the bottom rubber thing there, which is also a sensor, was replaced. Now, I'm going to shove the camera down, and it never had a gap like that before. These little buggers can just come straight in there. On the final, and this just before I moved the cars, this thing arrived. Whether that's likely to be affected by this, I don't know. Maybe it's just because the Jag is such a low car and they probably found a very easy way to get jumped up with all their tissues and fag butts and bits of wood and dust and grassy bits and stuff. Little buggers. Anyway, hopefully it's not too bad, and like I say, please, if any of you have any ideas that might be of help, please don't give me any crap on this. I'm pretty upset as it is. But we'll have a perspective on the size before the end. Those are my fingers. So that's mouse size, I would say. A big mouse, but it's not a small rat anyway.